Hello, hello. Hope we're doing well. Welcome to a random Thursday stream. A makeup for yesterday's stream that I missed. I'm still kind of on the mend. For those not aware, I have been sick the last week or so. That's why I missed 2 Wednesdays ago's stream and why I missed the weekend stream as well. So my voice is like kind of there. It's not completely there, but it's better than it was a few days ago. So, and there should be an ad break, by the way, starting soon, though. According to the message Diagonal sent, maybe there's an ad break right now. I don't know what to make of commercials these days. I don't. There's so many advertisements, so many places. When I even think of commercials, right? I normally think of like TV commercials, which is just more applicable to streaming, but there's all kinds of advertisements because there's stuff like advertisements in short form content, long form content. All of it's weird and getting weirder. Probably. Alright. I'll throw on the screen. It'll probably be a bit of a shorter stream. I'm gonna go probably a little over an hour. Oh my goodness. Well, we'll see. One part of that is we'll see how my voice holds up. I want to continue working on some of the walls today where I can. Oh, we were plugging in this area. That's what we were doing before, and I didn't do that off stream. Ad break is going as well, potentially. But we're gonna fill this in, and then we'll keep going from here. I think is my plan for today. So yeah. Hopefully everyone's doing well. I am, like I said, sick, but otherwise, otherwise hanging in there. There we go. We do that. So easy to place and break this stuff. Nice sound too. Got the day counter going as ever. 3551. We're almost halfway through the year, so I think we started at 3300 and we're supposed to hit 3800 this year, so we're like halfway-ish, I think, at this point, which is good. We're under halfway through the year and we're halfway to our goal, which is good. I'm trying to think. We are at 33.77. Calc. Should be getting back from ads in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back from the ads. We are currently at 810 hours. Looks like. So we need to go another, I think I was gonna hit 900 this year. So we need to go another 90-ish hours. Which, let's say there's 26 more weeks in the year. That's a 90 hours divided by 26 weeks. That's roughly 3.5 hours a week. I think it's doable. I've had some weeks where I've missed. I've had some weeks where I've gone, 4 or 5 hours. So I think overall it's doable though. But yeah, like I said, I've been sick. Kind of is what it is. Doing better, but not, fantastic. Just doing better. Getting through it. Something along those lines. Okay, let's go up here, I think. Start up here. I don't think it was anything super bad. It presented kind of as a cold to start, and it's gone through a couple stages, but it was a good opportunity for me to kind of just lay around and do nothing, which can be nice. I pretty much laid on the couch for a few days. I took a few days off from work. Thankfully, I think I've mentioned this before, where I work gives sick days. A lot of places in the U.S. just give PTO, paid time off. So they kind of lump sick days and vacation days into one category, PTO. But we get vacation days as a separate thing from sick days, which actually results in, I think I get more days off a year than most companies give, if you combine those two together. My experience has been PTO days are typically about 15. For most people, it's like 15 a year. You get other holidays and stuff alongside that, but accrued vacation days, if you will, has been 15. I get 15 vacation days a year, and then I also accrue 10 sick days a year. So I was able to use the sick days. I think this is the first time I've really been sick after we've moved here. So the first time in like a year. So it was nice. I took last Thursday off, and I took Monday off, and I kind of worked Friday, but not really. So I got to catch up on a lot of different movies that I hadn't seen over the last 4 or 5 years. Actually, even before that. I watched the it's not new now, but the sequels for Star Wars. You have the original trilogy, and you have the prequels, and you have the sequels. I think they're called the sequels anyways. But I'd never heard great things about them. I think there's some good parts to them, but I think the problem with the episode 7, 8, and 9 is just that there's so much left not done well. Or so many storylines that were either started and like not finished, or just weren't even explored. Certain decisions that were made that are controversial. I enjoyed the movies quite a bit, but I can definitely see why, like if you compare them to like the original trilogy or even the prequels, it's not quite like from a universe building perspective what you might expect. So I understand why people are not big fans of them, but I'd only seen, I think, episode 7. I saw that when it came out, and I never saw episodes 8 and 9 because 7 was just kind of eh. But since I had all this time, I figured why not? So there we go. I figured why not, give it a shot. So I watched all of them through. I ended up watching a couple of superhero stuff as well. The new Superman movie that came out last year. There was a Batman movie that came out 4 years ago that I had never seen, with Robert Pattinson. So I took some time and laid on the couch, didn't really do much, but still got some good movie watching and TV show watching. Those are the main ones I watched. I rewatched I'm trying to remember what the other movies were that I watched. I think Ready Player One, I rewatched that. Oh, I watched Dune. That's what I watched. I watched both parts of Dune that are out. Bailey, what you bark for? Which Dune was pretty good. I've heard that there's a part 3 for that coming out, from what I saw online. So it's coming out next year, maybe. So there we go. What I probably should do here. Not that. I should probably do this. Make my life a little bit easier. I'm assuming a gas fireball shot that. So all the movies were pretty long. The one thing I saw about the Batman movie was that people weren't super happy with how long it was. I mean, a lot of these are 2.5, 3 hour movies, which I can get why people would not be super happy with that. But as someone who was sick, I was actually quite happy with it. They're pretty good too. So Give me a lot of stuff to watch. So did a lot of that over the weekend. Give me an opportunity, like I said, to kind of do nothing and actually rest. Emma was also sick, but did not have the opportunity to rest. She actually had to work. She's too important. So I, fortunately, am not that important. So I can pretty easily take the time off and, you know, nobody misses me. Though it was very much noticed that I was gone because I got a couple couple people who had said, "Are you okay?" I don't normally take a bunch of time off, so it's pretty it's a pretty unique situation when I do. But I actually quite like that we're flattening this right here. Didn't actually think I would like this, but I do actually quite like this. Because it's a nice, even surface to work on. Alright. I forgot to write in the book. In the book, our stream. I really not streamed since the 27th? I feel like I've streamed. I feel like I streamed it, I think it was the 31st. I don't think I wrote that down in this book. Let me look. Let me see if I may not have uploaded the... No, did I? I was gonna say I may not have uploaded the VOD for it, but I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, I for sure did. Let's see. Yes, 5:31. So we did, in fact... Hey, Ghost, how's it going? We did, in fact, stream on the 31st. Write that down in my handy dandy book. We're also streaming today. So that will be 2026, June the 11th. Cool. Today's stream number 34. So, let's see. Probably got another... We might get to stream 40 this month. Be a lot of streams. This is Java. Good old Java. I'm actually on an older version as well. I haven't updated in a while. So I'm not even really on any of the versions from this year, I don't think. Sorry to mute. Blow my nose. Unfortunate part of being sick. Runny, runny, runny nose. Hey, hey. Let's do that. Turn up a little bit. Hey, where were we digging last time? Because now we're out of wall area. So now we have to dig, I think. I'm missing a piece right there. That's a bummer. I'm gonna assume that it's over here. Maybe that portion, perhaps. We can, I guess, maybe just start here. Should probably be the wisest to do this. To do that, and we can go all the way back here. Apparently this is a cave back here. It's good to know. I just want to do this. Fill all this stuff in. Cause some space here. There we go. All this beautiful netherrack we can use to build a wall. shouldn't have dug that portion out, but it's fine. Let's do this. We'll get to it eventually. Interesting. Okay. We will stop here, I think. This will be our cutoff. Yeah, this will be our cutoff right here. Start working our way down from here. But yeah, it's Java. I've always played Java. Bedrock's come a long way over the years. Well, I say always played Java. Technically, I started on Pocket Edition, which then morphed into Bedrock at some point, but well after I stopped playing it. That was the first version of the game that I played was Pocket Edition. When it was actually called Pocket Edition. I don't know if it's still called that or not. If I were to get out my old iPod Touch, I'd probably... I have done this before. I think the worlds are still saved on there, but... who knows if that iPod Touch would even still turn on anymore. There's a good chance it wouldn't. There we go. Bada bing, bada boom. Ooh, not that. Thank you. What else? What else? What else? Well, the most recent stuff is stuff that happened today. We're in the process of repairing Emma's PC. It's been running hot, and we're trying to figure out why. The best thing we can think of is the CPU cooler, because when I actually opened it up to try to clean it out, there was an old foam block. We didn't build this PC. I bought it from CyberPower like 4 years ago. We opened it up to clean it out. And there was a foam block in there that was just part of the packaging we never removed. When I removed that, the CPU cooler, we found out, was not attached properly. It basically wasn't adhering at all to the CPU, which is probably why it seems like she's having random shut-off issues for the computer, which seemed like an overheating issue, and just based off of the temperature stuff that I had her download so we can look at the core temps in her computer, it looks like it is probably an overheating issue. But so we have to reapply. I fastened the CPU cooler back down on the computer. That wasn't too hard, but I think the thermal paste was kind of done because it wasn't adhered properly. So we took it off today to try to reapply it and then screw the CPU cooler back on. But when I took the CPU cooler off, fully off, what we found, or I say what we found, what essentially happened was that the two like prongs that the CPU cooler attaches to, that are like essentially on brackets that are on the motherboard, broke off, unfortunately. So they literally just kind of like twisted off and broke, which they're not supposed to do. So that was great. So we got all the thermal paste off, but we can't put stuff back on and attach the CPU cooler back to the CPU. So I ordered some off of Amazon. You can take the brackets off. I haven't taken them off yet, but you can take them off of the motherboard. This reminds me, I should probably, between today and tomorrow, test like actually taking those brackets off. Make sure I actually can. You can get replacement brackets off of, I mean, aftermarket stuff. You can contact the manufacturer. The brackets themselves that are on the motherboard, I think are the motherboard's brand. I don't think they are like the brand of the CPU cooler. from what I saw. So we ordered some like aftermarket brackets. It's like $10. $10 for a pack of 2, I think, or a pack of 3 or something. 3 pairs. So we're gonna replace those and then reapply the CPU cooler. They should get here on Saturday, so hopefully on Saturday. But I closed up the computer in the meantime, and so it's just sitting on our kitchen counter, which is where we were like taking everything apart. I have some experience building computers. I am a computer engineer, but I built my own, not this computer that I'm using right now, but I built my own computer, which is the computer I used before this one, back in 2017. So I'm not afraid to open up a computer and get to work and replace things. So when I was in high school, my parents got me a computer repair kit, so I always carried it around with me. It's got a bunch of little screwdrivers and screws in it and all kinds of different tools that are small enough to be able to work on like computer screws and computer parts on. So it is a pain when things don't work though. And you have to go through and repair it. It's not a fun process, I'll tell you that. Especially because, I mean, as much as I'm not afraid to take things off, like I'm not an expert in all computer parts. So it's a lot of figuring out things as I go. I need to look up brands for things, and different parts are attached in different ways, and yeah, there's a lot that goes into it, a lot of knowledge. So, but I've got enough to get by, so. Is it raining? I think it's raining. I think it's just started raining out of nowhere. It's been really humid here and really warm. I think the high today was 90 and 93. Yeah, it's raining right now. Oh my gosh. Hopefully the power doesn't flicker because it looks like it's going to be thunderstorms. I guess we'll see if the stream randomly turns off, then the power flickered. We had our power go out a few weeks ago, which was not a fun experience. Only went out for a few hours. But in bigger storms, our power lines are underground, but one of the neighboring neighborhoods that we get our power from, essentially, they're the ones who they're the entrance point. Their power comes above ground. So, and then the power lines were buried for our neighborhood, but not for theirs, essentially. Money reasons, I think, and just time period stuff. There we go. So, not a fun experience, but we made it through. Surprised at how loud the rain is. I don't know if you all can hear it or not, but I can hear it on the roof above us. Go. Steady progress. I think temperature's supposed to go down a little bit next few days, which will be nice because it's behaving like August weather right now, which is not fun, I will say. August weather in June is not great. It's very nice when you walk back inside and it's so cool inside that, you know, it's not cool inside our house. It's in the low 70s, but it feels like even colder than that because it's so warm outside. So thought I heard something. Like another sound. So my talkie will be kind of on and off today. You know, I'm not the most talkative in general. You know, I'm not a rambunctious person. Certainly not a rambunctious streamer. But with all the sickness and stuff, I probably won't be talking like nonstop. There we go. But even if I'm not talking all the time, I'm still here. Gradually making progress. Steady progress is the way to getting things done, I'll tell you that. I can tell you how many people just kind of stop doing something and then they don't actually make any progress on it. It is better to be more strategic about your progress instead of just kind of meandering around and just kind of figuring things out that way. However, meandering around is still better than doing nothing. There's levels to it, you know, so. As long as you're consistently working on something, you will make progress on it. Because a lot of the barrier for a lot of people is just hours, right? I mean, that goes for Minecraft World, it goes for pretty much anything, right? But, no, we're definitely talking Minecraft World here. You know, a lot of the barriers to creating a large, successful world is just, you gotta spend a lot of time on it. And you gotta put some thought and effort and energy, you know, into what it is that you're doing. You do that, you do it for long enough, and as is the story with this world, you do it for over 800 real life hours total. Oh, got on the magma block, I think. Yeah, you do it for over 800 hours total in a world. You make some pretty good progress, and you do stuff like this where you have an entire perimeter basically cleared out. Plus you got a whole village and a whole bunch of other builds and whatnot. So I don't want to put these here. I don't want those there. I want this to be netherrack, please. Thank you. There's a phrase that I've heard before that is not the best phrase, but is a phrase that I've heard that essentially says something like, you can't fail if you never give up, kind of thing. It's true for most things. If you just spend enough time on it, I think it has to do with businesses. Like, your business can't fail if you never actually close it or something like that. And you know, there's some levels to that, but the gist of it is, if you don't give up on something, it definitely won't fail. And if you take that and be like, well, what it essentially means, what it tends to end in is that if you don't give up on something, you will eventually succeed in some fashion. That's not exactly what the quote is, but it's what I choose to take from it. The quote is more so, I think, a cope for a lot of people who just don't want to give up on something that is failing, and then justify it by saying, well, you know, if I never give up on it, then I can't possibly fail, which technically speaking is true. At the same time, you don't exactly succeed. I mean, depends on the definition of success. So what you often find with things like content creation, though, and things like creating a good world, is if you just spend enough time on it, and you have to kind of figure out the right things to do. Oh, I looked at an Enderman. You can't necessarily stay stagnant, right? If you were to do the same thing in a world for years and years and years and just never change, never improve, never, you know, reassessed, then yeah, that would be a tough one to say that you succeeded at. Let's see. I think ad's about to start, by the way. FYI. I don't know what I'm doing right now. I'm running away from an Enderman. But what's new? I always run away from the Enderman. Let's do that. But for most people, if they just stuck around long enough in doing something to get over the hurdles and didn't like avoid the issues, you know, you'd be successful. Keep at it, keep improving. You'll get there eventually. Alright, we're in the middle of an ad break right now, so I won't say too much. But if you're not getting an ad, if you're watching this on YouTube, hello. Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you're having a great day. If you're on Twitch, seeing this live, hope it's been a good Thursday. If you're on YouTube, seeing this after the fact, hope it's been a good whatever day it is. It's important to acknowledge, I will say, that not every day is going to be a good day. You always wish to have as many good days as possible, but I've had to come to terms with a lot. Like, the older I get, that just, like, there are just days that are just chalked. Like, it's not gonna be a good day. It can be an okay day, but it's not gonna be a good day, and you just have to be okay with it not being a good day. And find the good in a day that isn't good. But welcome back from the ads, by the way, for anyone who had ads. But yeah, a lot of times bad days are seen as, you know, either a waste or what they are, which is bad days. Go. I've tended to see them as wastes, right? If I'm not having a good day, then it's a waste of a day, but it's not reasonable to expect that you're always gonna have a good day, so is it really a waste if it's inevitable to not have a good day sometimes? So. I've had to get used to that for sure. I talked about it, I think, I don't know if it was last stream or a stream before that. but trying to take things a little slower, taking things a little more day by day. I get to the things I get to in that day. Don't be too hard on yourself for not getting to the things that you want to get to, but you didn't. If you're doing nothing, that's one thing, right? But if you are doing things, then there's only so many hours in a day. We all have 24 hours in a day. It's just one of the, I watch enough YouTube that I've watched a number of different genres and been on different areas of YouTube over the last 12, 13, 14 years. One of the places I inevitably end up at is kind of like the business slash like motivational side of it. That's one point or another. One of the, kind of trendy things that gets talked about there is the idea of having 3 days in one, right? If someone's regular workday is 8 hours or 6 hours or something, but instead of that, one of the quote unquote tips is, just have 3 days. For every day that someone else works, you work 3 days. All that's really saying though is that is just like kind of like dividing up time and being more efficient with it. It's not actually like 3 new days. It's just essentially a trick to be more efficient with your time. For instance, a lot of like entrepreneurs will obviously work long hours because you're starting your own business, and it's, everything's on you kind of thing. You're not a cog in a machine. You are the machine. You are the entire plant. So you kind of have to. But one of the hacks that gets talked about there is kind of like how people structure their days. If you get up and you have one work day, which is 6 to 12, and then you take a break, and then you have your second work day from 1 to 5, 1 to 6 or something, and then you have another break, and then you work again from 7 or 8 to midnight. And therefore people get 3 work days into most people's one day. That's great and all, and like it's good motivation if you have like a business you're starting or something to like try to divide your time up into 3 separate sections. But all that really is a way of, 1, tricking yourself into working more, but 2, being more efficient with your time by taking actual breaks and having focused time. Essentially, anybody who does anything can do that. I mean, you can do that with Minecraft. If you want to have, if someone like me, for instance, is doing one 4-hour stream, but instead of doing one 4-hour stream, I did 2 3-hour streams in a day. I did one in the morning and one in the evening. Well, that's essentially the same thing. But if you actually look at it, one's 4 hours and one's 6 hours. So you're actually doing more work. You will probably get, not probably, it's very possible you get twice the output because you take a break in the middle. That's the impact of breaks. That's why breaks are so useful in anything that you're doing. It's because it gives your mind the time to rest. And so I try to do this at work as well. If you try to optimize, if you take more breaks and try to optimize like your time based off of when you're actually able to work efficiently, you'll get more done in 6 hours than you would in 8 hours. And if you do that, and instead of working 8 hours, you work 2 5-hour sessions instead of one 8-hour session, you'll get more done. Instead of doing one 8-hour session, you do 2 4-hour sessions. You're gonna get more done in 2 4-hour sessions than you would in one 8-hour session. It's the power of taking breaks. power of dividing up your time and being intentional about your time. It goes for anything. It's a very useful thing for Minecraft worlds as well. Work on the things that you're going to be the most efficient about. You know, I mean, I talk about something similar. It's not the same thing, but I talk about something similar with I think having multiple projects, right? In general, you're going to be more efficient if you work on the things that, if you do one thing and then take a break by doing something else, you're going to, in general, get more done. You don't want to keep switching back and forth all the time for, you know, every moment of the day, but if one is considered a break from the other, you're going to be more efficient with your time, so. Yes, we do all have the same 24. I think that's where I was going with all this, which is, yes, we do all have the same 24 hours in a day. How you break it up will change, you know, how much you get done in those 24 hours. It's all about being more intentional about things anyways. Whoa. Let's not drop down there, thank you. Out of space already. I destroyed some stone bricks somewhere apparently. We'll want to go back and figure that out, I think, where those go. They're probably down here somewhere. Yeah, they're right there. Can I jump to get those? Nope. I didn't finish that. That's good to know. I'll have to finish that in a bit. Let me see. I don't think I have much else to update. I know it's been a week and a half since I last streamed. Like I said, the whole sickness thing. So it's really just been that. I do still feel like as every week goes by quicker. I mean, this past week or two has been being sick, but I think it's just because there's just always, always something to be doing. Always got that list of things to do, and before you know it, it's you know, almost halfway through June. Go there. Yeah, I guess the only other notable thing is that I was about to fight someone today. It's probably about the only other notable thing. Just someone being rude. We have some paths near our house that we tend to go for walks on, especially when it's nicer out. It was warm today, but you know we take Bailey out, and then someone was out doing wheelies on their bike in the cul-de-sacs and was riding up and down the trails, which is normally fine as long as you stay like a decent speed. You know, it starts to get dangerous if you aren't paying attention to what you're doing and who you're gonna hit. And Bailey's not a fan of bikes, and so this particular person was in the cul-de-sac, or in a cul-de-sac we were walking by, doing some wheelies, and then went pretty quickly down the path, and so Bailey barked at the dog, and the person said some profanities to our dog. So nothing like somebody being rude, ruining your good time. So we're all fine, but it's definitely not a fun moment. Turn that off, thank you. For the record, I had no problem with people on their bikes in the cul-de-sac doing whatever. You're not hurting anybody, who cares? But as soon as you start being rude to other people, you know, that crosses the line. So it was the reason I was even a little later than I would have desired to be, or even that I said I would be for today's stream in Discord. We were coming back from that, so. Let float away. It was this side, wasn't it? I think we got enough to start working on the wall again. I want to repair this pickaxe, I think, first. We'll do that. I'll let it float away. I'll let it float away. Yeah, we'll do this. Get this pickaxe repaired. It's quick. Didn't take very long for these to start dropping. So wait for some of this to do its magic. Doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doo. A magma cube out there. How you doing, buddy? Yeah. come towards me. I don't want any of that in my life. Thank you very much. I'm fine with what I'm doing right now. Flip this out now. Pretty good shot. That's a big one. Yeah, you get out of here. Yeah, you get out of here. That's right. Got 3 days. So right now we're just waiting for the skeletons to drop. I'll hide out, I think, down here because I do not want to have to deal with anything shooting at me. That's never a fun time. We need to reach those. I was thinking that I could add a layer here. I could probably add a layer of slabs there. If that works. Just thinking if I could cover this up entirely with slabs. Probably not. Yeah, probably not. Into the lava you go. Back down here we go. With the skeletons to drop. I've worked it into my routine these days, but there's a, you wouldn't think of LinkedIn as kind of like one of these social sites that you spend a lot of time on, right? It's mostly just professional networking. But they have done, I think New York Times does something similar with like daily puzzles. LinkedIn has daily puzzles. And they currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They have 8 puzzles. They just added one a few days ago. I don't remember how many I've done in a row now, but it's been a lot. They've done these for about 2 years, it looks like now. A little over 2 years. I'm on I think my best streak is on Zip, and I've done that 437 days in a row now. Basically. They're really easy, like, you know, a couple minutes each. Or actually less than that a lot of times, 30 seconds to a minute puzzles. So you can pretty easily do 8 in about, you know, 5 minutes. But they're nice little brain teasers to kind of get your brain going. Start the day. One of them is Sudoku. And one of the things I really like about LinkedIn's puzzles is that you can compare your scores to your other connections, which essentially is like people that like you follow each other. There's like being friends on Facebook or whatnot. Like you essentially follow each other if you're connected with someone. So it's almost like a little mini competition every day to see who out of your connections and those who share, because not everyone has to share their scores, but I like to because I think it's cool. Who all wins. The only game that I pretty consistently am really good at is Sudoku, and I think that's largely because as a kid I played a lot of Sudoku, so I have a lot of like Sudoku experience. This is like a mini Sudoku version though. But I'm pretty consistently #1 in Sudoku day in and day out, which is nice. They're fun. They're fun little brain teasers. Most of the other stuff I'm, you know, number 4 or 5 on my connections list. So. Alright, I'm going to repair this elytra, and then we should be good to get back to things. My elytra a little bit of a repair, though. No, I was a casualty. A little bit more. Just a tiny bit. Just a smidge. There we go. Here, you know what? We can actually work on the wall a little bit. That's probably a better use. Fill this in. Gonna fill this in here, I think, too. Just to straighten it out a little bit. Nice flat wall. This will help keep all the baddies out. If there's any gas that spawn over here, we won't see them, they won't shoot at us, that kind of thing. I originally started doing this wall for the magma cubes, but it's useful for all the biomes. As we dig stuff out, we have a pretty easy place to essentially replace the blocks. Which I think is nice. Then we'll just go sit in some chests somewhere. That starts in about 4-ish minutes, by the way. See all the interesting places in the lava where stuff was removed, right? Because they're not lava source blocks where there was originally some solid blocks. So when the solid blocks get removed, they just have lava flow from the solid blocks to the empty blocks. I have another emote I can use there instead of this one. Flip horizontal. I'm gonna do this, I think. A few pixels off the edge there, I think. Maybe. No, we can go to the edge. Take the farmer off of there for a little bit. So this is the farmer that I've used. These are just my emotes. I've had these for 5 or 6 years, I think. They're very good emotes. I do quite enjoy them. Don't know if I would ever make them my profile picture. I have thought about commissioning a new profile picture though. A few times. What I have now is fine. But I've also had it for probably, you know, 8, 9 years. So be nice to have kind of a facelift to a lot of the, not necessarily the emotes, but the other artwork. I really like my emotes. I'm quite happy. That was weird. I'm quite happy with my emotes. I don't know where that pigment came from. Unless he literally just spawned here. So, and they're different artists. My profile picture and then my YouTube, my banner were made by one artist. And then the emotes are made by a different artist. In fact, my profile picture was actually free, even though I was trying to pay for. I think it was both the profile picture and the banner. I'm trying to tell a story here, provide some context in the backstory of my channel, and you little ruiner just destroyed part of my wall, and it's not nice. We don't like it. I think ads might be starting now as well, by the way. Yep, ad break in progress. So if you don't have an ad, if you're watching this on YouTube later, or if you're in the Twitch stream now, enjoy no ads. I feel like ads have become such a big part of our culture now that it's very difficult to think about a world in which we may not have advertisements for things anymore. That's probably never gonna happen, right? But I think it'd be nice to not have advertisements everywhere for products and services. And it can be nice when you need said product or service, but there's also no guarantee. I mean, we get like mail to our house, people advertising their services. And as part of me, as I get the mail, I'm like, how good are they really? Like, if they're sending stuff to my house, maybe they're good, maybe they're not. I don't know. Maybe it's just my brain, but I almost have a thought of like, if you're really that good, then why do you need why do you need to send advertisements to my mailbox? You know, shouldn't word of mouth be good enough to do for your business? But not necessarily. Look back from the ads, by the way. We're talking about the state of ads and advertisements and commercials and whatnot. My peripheral vision, I thought that enemy was staring at me, but it wasn't. It's just minding its own business. Go in those so I don't die in lava. That would be great. Inventory full. Bada bing, bada boom. Probably add some like protective. Should make this. I mean, I really should make this a 3 wide staircase all the way up, or at least provide some like boundaries or something. But I do quite like living on the edge as well. Feeling alive. It's always great, right? Yeah, yeah. I don't know if I killed the gas or the gas just despawned. By the way, I'm glad it's gone, but kind of looked like it went poof, as in I shot it or something shot it. But it was just too far away for me to hear it. Kind of what it felt like. Add this wall here. Beautiful. That's better. Because there's a smaller hole here. Feel a little more protected on this side. Let's go take this basalt maybe over here somewhere. Is there a wall over here I can work on? Probably right here, huh? This right here is probably makes sense. There's a magma cube somewhere around here. I can hear it. Just want to be careful. There's something down there. How did Enderman get on this area? That I do not know. See how high we can get on this wall. want it? That's sideways. There we go. So many Endermen down here. I don't know where they're all coming from. I guess they're all coming from over here, but I kind of would have figured by now that there'd be fewer Endermen spilling over. I guess not. Do need some slabs like that, so we'll grab those. Do that, I think. It's here. I hear you. Don't think I don't hear you, because I hear you. Y'all need to get into a space, please. Or something. A little better. And you're gone. Cool. Put some of this stuff away up here. Little narrow window now. We'll take it. Take that and accidentally getting blasted off the side of a cliff or something. See how much of this down here I can tear out. All of this right here, huh? Whoa, it's a high jump magma cube. Oh my goodness. I'm trying to get up here. No, you're not allowed up here. Grab all this, thank you. Put some of this away. However, it is getting to that time, and I think we're gonna wrap it up. Put some of this stuff away. Put some of the other stuff away, and kind of a short one today, of course. Got started late, but so made some good progress today. Like I was saying earlier, it's always that slow and steady progress. You know, you don't notice it until you've made a whole lot and. You look back and you say, wow, look at all the things that I've done. So it's the small things that help out the most. But yeah, we're gonna wrap up there for today. Hopefully you all enjoyed. I will see many of you back here on Sunday for the next one. So take care, everyone, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.